Doing well. So is there one right now? Because this is the time that I'd put it out to a few people, but I
So
don't.
there are two today.
Oh,
And my understanding, so on my calendar, there was one at 11 Central Time that I went to. And it was me, Bob, and John, and some woman who'd never turned on the camera, never spoke. I forget her name.
okay.
So obviously she thought it was at that time.
Right.
And then there's one right now, which is the previous link that I was already on.
Okay.
So my understanding is that today we are talking about SEO and IDX, whereas the one that he's supposed to be doing is understanding descriptions and keywords. So
Okay. Yeah, because that's the one I guess that I'm looking at. It says understanding meta descriptions and keywords, but
I
all
think
the stuff says IDX SEO. So like anybody that hops on will be happy to hear and learn anything on any of those subjects. And I talked to a few of them this morning, and so they are hopping on. So I
uh,
can be on here in a little bit.
let me show you something that we're not sharing with other people. And I find this.
Okay.
So Google Maps. This is St. Patrick's Day. These are all the Irish pubs.
How adores green beer.
Oh, no. Oh, I haven't shown you. So let me open it in my map. So I want you to notice something. This is what people see. Preview. Hold on. Here we go. So this is what people see when they get there. Look at that. It says Irish pubs, Houston real estate boss listed on
Real
Wilson.
estate.
Matched by Houston real estate boss.
That's awesome.
I know, and I'm sharing these maps. So I haven't shared this one out for everybody yet, but it's because it's only had 4 views, and that's me. But within this, oh
Well, I
look,
see your houses.
there's houses. Oh my God, Upper Kirby, and it goes to my website.
Okay, pause. Okay, one, why aren't you sharing this? Two is, can you go back to where it says Upper Kirby or whatever that one was?
Mhm.
And so, like, you click on that. So, is that a specific house or is that a
It's a
pin that you put there about the subdivision?
it's a neighborhood.
I love it.
Oh no. So, but get this. So let me go back over here because I've done quite a few of these. I like Valentine's Day, top romantic restaurants. And
Oh my
so
gosh.
there's been 463 views. I literally went to Facebook groups to say, hey, what are your top romantic restaurants? Like I didn't care because I've already Googled it.
Right.
And then I posted it, and people are going and look at 464 people have gone to view it. But
Yeah,
look,
but then they can share that map, right? Like whenever it says share. Okay.
exactly. So Bob and I are doing this. We don't know how much traffic is actually driving to our websites yet. So we're monitoring it for the next couple of months before we like say, hey, look at how great this is.
How are y'all tracking?
In admit, 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 admit. Okay, there are people joining. So, but yeah, we'll have to track it as it goes back and forth. But anyway, that's not something we're sharing with everybody just yet.
That's impressive.
It's very exciting. Anyway,
Hell yeah.
welcome everybody.
Hi.
So Bob has double booked himself. So, what class do you think you're here to learn about today?
Anything IDX, SEO, blogs, keywords, whatever you want to tell me.
Perfect. Because that's what I thought I was here for, and you want to make sure. So, we're going to go over blogging and SEO and blogging. I blog every day. And I have scheduled blogs to go out in the future that I do. Now, where do I get my blogging material? I am not a writer, but I set up Google alerts for Houston economy and Houston real estate. Sometimes I can do Houston entertainment, whatever you want to report on. My goal as a real estate agent is to drive people to my website, and the economy and real estate are the things I look at. What I have found is that lots of news organizations are literally just copying and pasting the same thing. Because you will see the exact same headline, anything like that. But I don't want copyright infringement, so I have AI rewrite the article for me. The example I will give, if it's about economy, like let's say there's a new tech company moving to Houston. Well, I will blog about that, I will tag the company, hashtag, and every time that company name comes up, if they hover over it, it will say, let's say it was, I don't know, we'll say Tesla. If let's say every time it says the word Tesla, if they hover over it, says jobs at Tesla in Houston, and they will click on it, it will take them to a job posting site where I've already completed that search for those jobs. Because my goal is, since I have so many people coming to my website that are not from Texas or from Houston, let me encourage them to come. The other thing is that anytime you write an article, you might want to post multiple places. I'm going to show you one of my favorites that I do. I've been doing for years, and it's called Active Rain. Who here knows what Active Rain is?
Me, blog on there 5 times a week.
I love Active Rain. So share, where's my Active Rain site? Let's see. That's my Bayou City weekends, which will go out again today. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But let me find my blog. All right. Where is my blog? Come on, machine, work for me. Oh, where? All right. Blog. I just want my blog. Come on. There we go. So let's find one that's market update. This one, where's the one that really did well? Here we go. Home builder builds 8 duplexes for at-risk use. By the way, this drove actually quite a bit of traffic to my website. These homes are not for sale. It's just a local article. Now, this is all in Conroe, Texas. But as you go through here, I don't think I've linked anything. If the words look funny to you, it's because I have ADHD speed reading, what do you call it? Google Chrome extension. So if you're reading this, you'll be reading it faster. But I go through this. I've copied an article, I've rewritten it, and I go down. But at the bottom of everything, here are the top 10 neighborhoods. Just listed, home valuation, this is before I started putting jobs, but that's a great opportunity. I usually also include a picture of me and my dog somewhere down here, and I hyper tag that. Now, when I hover over this, it says Museum District, but you see how it says homes for sale, Houston Museum District. Google sees that. Google sees that. So every blog posting I do, I'm driving traffic back to my website. You know, they want just listed, our home evaluation, we're hiring, foreclosures, and my blog. But all of these go back. And within this, if this is like about a specific neighborhood, I would literally create a page for that neighborhood if I haven't created it already. So let's say it was about, what was it? River Forest, which is the neighborhood in Conroe. I would literally have a link back to that page. And every time the blog article said River Forest, you could hover over it, see it says River Forest homes for sale, and go back to it. And I post my blogs multiple places. I do Active Rain, I do my own website, which by the way, my own website gets the least amount of traffic for the blogs. Even though I tend to use that as posting to other social media, I don't post Active Rain anywhere. I don't, or the other blogs I use. I also use Blogger. And for me, the Houston Association of Realtors, if you're a Platinum member, provides you a blog. I use that same blog. I put the same blog there, but I use that because they have a high Google ranking. Blogger doesn't really have a high Google ranking, even though it's part of Google, but Active Rain does, and so does the Houston Association of Realtors. So these are a couple of ways like to drive traffic to your website by blogging. You want to choose your keywords carefully. You want to make sure that there's at all times you're offering whatever service you're offering, whether it's cookies or pizza or real estate, every time that those keywords, and you can literally have AI, ChatGPT say, hey, I want these keywords peppered throughout the article. And every time you have that, you will highlight that word, you will add the attachment. buy chocolate chip cookies, and it will take them to a link on your website to buy those chocolate chip cookies. And I apologize if anybody's having to wait because it's not telling me when people are trying to get in. No, there's no beeping. It just kind of pops up. So we kind of go through that and do that with blogging. Now, when you blog, you need to go back into the places where you put it. One of the things that you might want to consider, who likes LinkedIn? I love LinkedIn. Do you know you can write an article on LinkedIn? If you're not writing articles on LinkedIn, you might want to consider it. Now, the problem with LinkedIn doesn't really SEO because they blocked it, meaning that it's not found on Google. If you're searching for your article or anything in LinkedIn, unless it's a person, you're not going to find them, or a company, you're not going to find them. But as you write those articles, those get better traction on LinkedIn than a post on LinkedIn.
Okay, hold that thought. Go back. Okay, so you're saying LinkedIn write an article. Is it any different inside of LinkedIn to create an article versus a post, or is it the same thing? It's just word count differences?
So it's not. And actually LinkedIn makes it really easy. So when you go and you're logged into LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn, click write article. You're going to add an image. You add a title, and right here, this is where you start typing and adding whatever it is. You hit enter, and then you're going to have options to add things. You can add up more images. You can insert a video if you want to. Anything you do, and by the way, they make it really easy. The video you're inserting is going to have to be a YouTube video or a link to a video somewhere online. It cannot be uploaded. They won't let you upload a video. You have to provide a link. And
quick question then with that, since Google is not necessarily tracking keywords, SEO, like tag words, that type of thing inside of a LinkedIn article, and I know that it's not ideal to have multiple blogs out there with the same content. Since LinkedIn's not tracking that, can we copy paste from our Active Rain blog to LinkedIn?
Absolutely, you can. Now, you can't do, it won't let you do the coding, so you literally have to copy the words. I don't know about y'all, but let me edit an article here and I'll show you what I do. For my post, where's my edit button? The report. They took away the edit button. Hold on. Go back here. Oh. Ring. Blogs.
Just use.
Taking. There we go. So let's see. I apologize. I don't find the edit button anymore. I wonder if they took that away after so long. However, with Active Rain, or if you're taking from Active Rain to LinkedIn, you literally copy like this instead of the coding button. If anybody uses the coding button, because I use it all the time, that's the way they do it. But the truth is, you had an image, you have a title, you write the article. At the bottom of your article, you'll always put links back to properties or however you're going to do it. But if you're copying directly from whatever blog space you use, it goes there. But I will tell you, some of my best leads come from LinkedIn and they're qualified. I've never had one LinkedIn lead that could not buy a house or wasn't ready to sell their house. No one ever contacted me. It's like, hey, I'm just wondering about the market.
Okay, is that because LinkedIn is primarily then CEOs, executives, like successful business people?
Yes, basically. I mean, you're not going to find the Facebook people that you have. That's great. You're gonna have all kinds of people on there. People who use LinkedIn, who really use it, they're professionals. They have careers. They don't have jobs. They have a 401k. They have savings. They probably have money in the market. And they tend to be more a little bit, well, they tend to have a higher education. Now, you won't get a lot, I don't get a lot of leads from LinkedIn. However, I will say that the ones I have gotten, I've always been well qualified to buy or just ready to sell. Like I'm thinking about selling in 2 years. They're not, they're serious. And by writing blogs, no matter what your business is, you become the expert. And just hashtag it. And you want to play in LinkedIn? Tag businesses. Hashtag that business. I purposely, when I write articles in LinkedIn, I do Texas Children's Hospital, I do MD Anderson, I do Halliburton, and I do Houston ISD. Because those are the core groups I've had clients from all of those companies. And so when someone sees that I'm hashtagging those and they talk to me, oh yeah, I've helped this many people at your corporation. So they feel like they've connected. So, but LinkedIn is not a great SEO tool when it comes outside of Google. But if you do it with blogging, it's great. The other thing you can do, and I don't think people talk about this like they should, is who here has a podcast or has been on a podcast?
Me.
And Stephanie, where do you host your podcast? What service?
So we use, what is that app? It's the app that blasted out there, Anchor. It blasted out there to all of them.
Oh, okay, perfect. Well, I will tell you, I did one, a couple of years ago, I did one, podcast with an agent from California. She wanted to talk about the Houston market and how people from moving to California. I still get traffic from that podcast. That was 2 years ago. And it's on iHeartRadio. Their Google rank is 96% or 96. So people are still listening to that podcast, even though I've never actually listened to it. She didn't even tell me when she posted it. I just noticed in my analytics, like, I'm getting traffic from somewhere. So podcasts are a great way to get traffic back because they will ask for your web address and they will just give you a better ranking. The other thing you can do is comment. Find organizations, news organizations that allow you to comment. In Texas, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we have Candy's Dirt, and it's all about the dirty real estate news. You can make a comment. It puts your name. Of course, my name is always Leslie Don Wilson, Houston Real Estate Boss, because I want those people in Dallas to know that I'm in Houston. And then it asks for your email, which is not public. Then it asks for your web address, which is public. So every time you comment, so find those news organizations. I believe Bob has a list of them where you can just make a comment every couple of days and post your web address. It drives traffic. And since Candy's Dirt has a higher Google ranking than my website does, every time I do that, it gives me a little bit more credit with Google. Make sense? So
Yeah, that does.
New and interesting with SEO that they've never done before? Nobody.
Okay, the question on podcast side is, let's say I suck at writing, but I can have ChatGPT do that. And so then you take that from a blog. So in reality, you can take that blog, read it off, create a video, then you can send the audio to Anchor. And so basically one piece of content can be a blog, a podcast, LinkedIn post, Facebook post, all of these articles, all of that for one piece of content.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I just started, I'm about to create a podcast because I've never done it before, but I realized when I started writing articles that I can now make a video for those articles. So, and it's just a little kind of a, hey, here it is type of thing. I just give them the brief of it. And this way they have something brief to watch because, a lot of people don't want to go through and read everything. And I try not to keep my articles too long. I try to cut them down to something very short, something that, it's not going to take away, more of their time than they want. Because remember, they're scrolling. But the podcast part of it is that, it's another way to put yourself out there. It's another way if I can get a podcast on, say, like iHeartRadio, who has a high Google ranking, well, my web address is going to be there too. And it's going to drive more traffic back. The only thing you can't do on podcast is since it is a podcast, you're not going to be able to hyperlink back to your site. It's not going to say, Louisiana homes for sale, and there'll be a link to those homes. It's literally just going to be your web address.
Okay, so you talked about Linktree the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Can we cheat and put Linktree in there on podcasts, anything like that?
Would y'all like to see my link tree? I love Linktree.
Yes.
I love Linktree. So here's what we can't do. If you're an Instagram user or a TikTok user, you cannot make a post with a link in it. It does not allow you to do that. So you have to have something in your profile. Well, I don't want just something in my profile. I want something that how can I say, I want, if I'm talking about a specific news article, if I'm talking about a specific open house or something like that, I want them to be able to find it. So here's what I'm going to share. Part of what you're going to see, no one, it's something we just started, and I'm on LinkedIn, so you're going to get to see it, or Linktree, so you're going to get to see it. All right. So here's my Linktree. Now, if you go to, this is what it looks like. And so as you design it, I have the paid version. And you can schedule things. So right now I have Mother's Day brunch at the top. Next is Cinco de Mayo. Actually, Easter is probably coming up next, right? No, I'm sorry, no. St. Patrick's Day is coming up next, but they're all scheduled. They have a start date and an end date. So when Valentine's Day goes away, then the next one that will come up will be Houston Irish Pubs for St. Patrick's Day, and that will replace that one. So I can go through the entire year and have something at the top that I want that's coming up. And if we click on this, who knows what this is? And I'm probably using the wrong way. And I was just showing this to Stephanie. So I've created a list of all the romantic restaurants. By the way, I just went on Facebook and asked people to give me, I didn't need them. I already Googled it, and someone's already made a list, but it engaged them. And then yesterday, somebody in one of those Facebook groups asked that question, and one of my friends tagged me because they knew I'd already made the list. So this is where all the restaurants are. You create this and it goes. Oh, look here. These are the neighborhoods. This is Rice Military. This goes right back to my website. Oh, and I don't know if you noticed, Valentine's Day romantic restaurants. Houston real estate boss Leslie Dawn Wilson. Mapped by. When you share this map, everybody sees it. All of these link backs, I don't know yet. We just started doing this. I don't know yet if Google gives any validation to these links. And I launched this map last Thursday, and I've gotten 466 views on it. So people are using the map. You can do it for every holiday. And my suggestion, if you try to get into this, it takes a little bit of time to figure out, but you create a base map and then you can copy it. So your base map, and I didn't do this, but your base map should be the neighborhoods or whatever it is you want to service. Then you copy that and you say, all right, what holiday am I going to do? So if you have a base map first with the neighborhoods you want, these all go back. Now, I don't know how much validation Google is giving this. I will say that it is Google Maps. So obviously, hopefully they'll give it some type of credit towards SEO. But it's another way to kind of drive traffic back to your website. And I've done this with, how many have I done this with? Let's see. It's coming up. Saved. It's not coming up. Saved. Maps. But I've done this for Valentine's Day. I've done this for Mother's Day, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo. I've done this for, next will be Father's Day. And my Linktree will be changing next time. Now, if you do Linktree, this is great for Instagram and TikTok. And by the way, most of my Linktree traffic comes from TikTok. And I don't really do a whole lot of real estate on TikTok. I just kind of sprinkle it with real estate because it's supposed to be the fun app. But things I put in my link tree, Valentine's Day, I'm hiring. I have a link to my YouTube page for new agent tips. They can call me. This is real estate news. And for instance, for we're hiring. It goes to my calendar right there in the app on their phone. So if they want something like that, they can do that. But all of these links go into your TikTok and your Insta. Well, one link goes into your TikTok and Instagram. When they pull it up, they can find what they're looking for. And you can move these around. It's as simple as just dragging and dropping. It does not matter. So let's say you're having a brand new listing come out. You can just drag that to the top. Or let's say you're having an open house. You can drag that to the top. So if you're posting on social media about that, they don't have to scroll through everything to find what they're looking for. The other thing if you ever get into mapping, this is the other one I did. I mapped all the dog parks. And that's my dog. All the dog parks. By the way, when you go to some of these and you view them in Google Maps, this is why you should take pictures all the time. This is Danny Jackson. Let's do a different one. I go to TC Jester all the time. Again, this drives traffic back to your website, but this is another way to do it. Take pictures everywhere you go and check in on Google Maps. I'm going to look at all these photos here, all of them. I want you to notice something when you see these photos. There's my dog. Who took that picture? Oh my God, Leslie Dawn Wilson, Houston Realtor. So anytime you go somewhere, you can't put a link in here, but people see what you do. There's my dog again. I even have pictures of other people's dogs in here. But nobody is doing this. They're taking pictures, but they don't realize that we can see their name. By the way, there's a cocktail at the iPick, a margarita that I paid, I think it's like $39 for. I was like, let me try the $39 margarita. It has 7 million views. 7 million views, and it says Leslie Dawn Wilson, Houston Realtor. So make sure your Gmail that you're using is your professional one. Make sure it says what you do, but it still drives traffic back. And as far as SEO goes, it doesn't really provide you any SEO, but it does drive people back to your website, which is ultimately the goal. And for your website, let's see. I will give you an example of kind of what we really push. We are hyper local on everything. So this is my website. Now, on the front, people come to your website, they're looking for a home. But I start with Houston, Texas, high-rise and mid-rise condos, and then Galveston. Then it lists basically all the cities. Then when we get to cities, let me just do Humboldt for you. You got to think outside just Humboldt properties. What are they looking for when they get to Humboldt? Are they looking for homes under 300, over 300, 600, 600, newer homes, older homes, unique homes, homes with acreage, large homes, teeny homes, land, homes with pools, foreclosures? In HOA, I gotta add the ones that aren't in HOAs, 1-story homes, 2-story homes, 3-car garages, duplex, triplex, fourplex, and then there's amount. So anything in your MLS, in your IDX, that's searchable, you can create a search option for that. And I will tell you, I'm never going to be number one when you search for Houston real estate. But if you search for, I don't know, Klein ISD homes for sale, because no one's doing that. No, I'm literally, at one point I was number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on Google. And people are searching with more detail. So if you think about more what you want people to find or what people are searching for instead of Houston Realtor, there are 40,000 of us. I'm never going to be number one. And that's not my goal. Think about the long tail keywords and think about how you're going to get people back to your site. So for every neighborhood you have, write an article about it and link back to properties for sale in that neighborhood. For every high rise you have, write an article about it, link back. Every park, every school, every neighborhood. You can, anything you can think of, you know, that's going on. Write an article about it with links back. So if I know that I love I go on every couple of months, there's a East End bike ride. I will write about that, but I will link back to properties in the East End for sale. So every time you do something, if you're checking in at your restaurant, you know, just kind of take a little snapshot. By the way, your phone, one of my favorite things to do is when I'm out somewhere, I will pull up on my phone a map of the properties for sale and just screenshot it. So that's great for TikTok. That's great for, I mean, it's great for stories, whatever it is you want. But if I'm on a dog park, hey, you like this dog park? Go back and just take a picture of it and post that. Let people know that you're there. And the great thing about these places like parks and restaurants and things like that, they don't really monitor their Google page, their Google Maps page. So your stuff will stay up there forever, and it doesn't cost you money, it costs you time. And for agents who don't have money to spend, it's easy. I call what I do guerrilla marketing when it comes to SEO. So for instance, I will go and stand in front of a luxury high-rise rental building, and with my phone I say, hey, if you can afford to live here, and I will name check the building, then you can afford to buy a townhouse or condo in the same neighborhood. Call me. I will check in on their Google Maps and their Facebook page, and I will upload that video. So this rental property, this rental building now has videos of me telling their people that live there that they can buy something. And then of course, write an article about that. Everything comes back to writing a smarter article. And I'm not a writer. ChatGPT writes everything for me. And if you're not good with ChatGPT, go to Google Bard. Google Bard doesn't, I don't think Google Bard has an upgrade fee on theirs, but it will write the article for you. And Google Bard will sometimes import maps for you. So think about how hyper local you can be. And the other thing I want to say is be personal. Like if you're not being personal in any of this, people aren't going to care. You have to make it fun. So is it a restaurant you like? Is it an art gallery you like? Is it a dog park, or is it, you know, a theater? Whatever it is, be that person that goes out and experiences it and shares it. But if you write that little small article about what you did, or even if it's just a short video, those hyperlinks come back. You don't have, when you do a blog post, it can be as small as a social media post. It can literally just be a video of you talking 30 seconds about whatever it is. You don't have to overthink it and be like, I've got to write, you know, 6 paragraphs. You just need enough to grab their attention. And once you have that, you have that little video, now you have YouTube videos. By the way, my YouTube shorts get more views than anything else I post on YouTube. And everything I post about real estate in TikTok and Instagram and Facebook stories ends up on YouTube. What else can you do?
You had started talking about where to post your Active Rain blog, or where to post. You said your Active Rain, of course, your site, Blogger, LinkedIn. Where else?
You can create it to almost any blogging site. I will say if you want to become a Reddit user, that's a great place. I'm not a Reddit user, but I know people who love that. And by the way, Reddit is one of those places where you can kind of I guess make things where you can make it just about real estate, but you can also comment on other people's real estate articles. And Reddit's more of a discussion. Like it's almost like that Facebook post where people just won't shut up, everybody keeps commenting. Reddit can be the same way, but it's a way to kind of put you out there. So when you're choosing, I guess what you want to be involved in on Reddit, just think about it first. Go through and play with Reddit a little bit. I'm not a Reddit user. But do I know a ton of real estate agents that use it? Absolutely. But it's its own little communities with thousands of subset communities. So you can live anything you want to find, you can find it on Reddit. And you can rip off and duplicate. For images, I like to use Pinterest. I'm not a Pinterest fan, but you can tag your images on Pinterest with your information and Google will find it. So who here has made a image of every home they've ever sold, say with sold across it? Just me?
I have, but I haven't posted it on Pinterest.
So when I post on Pinterest, I will use keywords like Houston realtor, Houston real estate agent, Houston real estate boss. I target the LGBTQ community, so I would say Houston gay realtor and things like that. Everybody here probably has a headshot. I really don't use headshots, and I don't do that on purpose. One, I want to be personal. This is what you're going to see me when you meet me. I'm wearing a black polo or a black t-shirt. That's it. Stephanie and I just wear black. We don't care about anything else. We just wear black. But what I will say is that everyone sees those images about about how you, I guess, that headshot, and that's not who you are. It's not who you are, especially if you have that headshot and you haven't changed your hairstyle. So, and I'll show you an example. Hold on. Oh, and by the way, if you're doing videos and you're not doing TikTok, TikTok videos are outranking YouTube videos on Google searches. Just an FYI. Right. All right, so here's an example of why you should be using different images all the time. So again, I target the LGBTQ community. So when you search for Houston gay real estate agent, I'm right here. 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 Here, here, here. Here. Oh, here I am. That was a summit. Here, 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 here. It just keeps going. Like just keep going down. And somewhere I'm right here. That's where we're trying to get people to work for us. And if I keep going down, that's me here. By the way, some of these are from my own website. Some of these are coming from Active Rain, and some of these are coming from Houston Association of Realtors. Let's see. Where's it? I'm looking for someone specific here, and it's not showing up. But all of these things come in. So if different images, different videos. By the way, sometimes it will take a clip of your video. If you go to videos, YouTube, TikTok, 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 YouTube, TikTok, TikTok. So if you're not doing TikTok, you're missing out. Who here's on TikTok that's doing more than just like posting fun videos? Just me.
Nope.
I will say that for me, TikTok, I tend to use it fun. I just sprinkle real estate in at kind of in between the fun stuff, but I keep a sold list of properties at the top, pinned at the top, so that people when they come to my TikTok page, they see what I do, so they know, hey, it's good. But TikTok drives traffic back to your websites. And those videos are there, they're outranking YouTube, and Google owns YouTube. So that's a big deal. That's a very big deal. Let's see, any questions? I know I talk fast.
I have asked mine along the way. I appreciate it.
No. But anyway, if you ever have any real questions or you'd like to sit down and say, hey, how do you hyperlink things? How do you make it when you hover over a word to say something different than what the word says? How do you tag your photos? How do you tag your videos? If you want to ever talk about that, I'm happy to talk to you about it. So is Bob McCraney. We don't like spending money on Google Ads, even though we both do. Ultimately, we want to have more content out there than our competitors. And if you just keep creating that content, it will build and build and build. The truth is, if you're not doing anything, you're not going to be found. And if you're not doing, what is it? Who here does Google My Business? Anybody? Everybody should? Okay. And do you have, what do you call it? What do they call it? Google My Business. I can be all over the place here. So on your Google My Business, who here is who here is offering products? Products. What
Me.
kind of products are you offering, Dan?
We've just started since Bob talked about it a few weeks ago, but you know, basement homes, yeah, homes in Spartanburg under 250, those types of things.
Yeah, and by the way, it's a process. I should pay more attention to my Google My Business than I do, but I do have products for every neighbor. Well, not every neighbor, for lots of neighborhoods. Ultimately, they will all have those. It will have all those neighborhoods, but you can't. Google doesn't like it if you put like a whole bunch of products in it once. They also don't like it if you put a ton of pictures in it once. So you kind of have to space that out. And I found that my videos tend to get kicked out, but my pictures don't. So if I make a video and Google feels like there is an issue, they will kick it out, but they've never once rejected an image. So, but keep that Google My Business, keep getting the reviews on it. Beyond that, that's kind of how we do it. We just, honestly, it's about creating content all the time, whether it's a blog, whether it's a video, and just spreading it out everywhere. I would say if you can get with other people in your line of business to say, hey, you know, let's do something together. If, you know, if you're a cake baker in Austin, Texas, why not do something with a cake baker in Tennessee? And y'all will both have content. Y'all can both link back to the other sites and create that. And for real estate, it's easy. Just talk about the market. Like, you know, you have 3 questions. You know, is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? What's the number of days of inventory? What's the median health sales price? Those are 3 questions that people are going to be asking. And you just answer those 3 questions. It's a short little interview. Do it with mortgage brokers too. Promote them and let them promote you. We give them enough business. They should do something back. But so create the content, make sure you're constantly thinking about when you're having those articles written, are the keywords I want in that article there? If it's talking about, if you want something for a specific neighborhood, make sure that neighborhood, tell ChatGPT to mention that neighborhood this many times. This way you can hyperlink back to properties in that neighborhood. Building out your website constantly. Your website is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be done, ever. So you can't think, I've built a website and it's done. It's never done. It's never done. Like your content always has to be updated, and everything that whatever small town or city or whatever it is there's always a new subdivision. There's always a new building. There's always a new park. There's always a new company that's coming in. Be the source of that information. And my favorite thing to do that I really like to do is I call it Bayou City Weekends. And some of you probably may have heard me talk about this earlier. I like to offer something more than just real estate news. So there's something called, and if you're in a major city, you have this. It's called 365 things to do in whatever your city is. Somebody's already created it for you. I pick 3 or 4 or 5 things that I like. I write a blog about it and I make a video about it. And before COVID, when I was doing this, it got to the point where people would call, text, and email me asking me about things that are going on. So if you become that source of more than just real estate, do it. The other thing I do to add value, other than things to do, is I keep a link for jobs in my website, in my blog posts and in my newsletters at the top. There's a link that goes to jobs for whatever city. And if I write an article about Exxon opening an office, then that link will literally go to a search created for Exxon on a job site. But that's kind of it. Any questions?
When do you have time to sell real estate?
Oh my God. Actually, I'm looking for like 2 buyer's agents right now. So, Houston, I would love to have them because I just started coaching people. I'm the ADHD gifted real estate agent, and I'm focusing on agents who also have ADHD, who also want to be more like, here are your 3 options to do instead of the therapist way, which is because ADHD people don't work well with therapists. Like, we need you to tell us. So like, here's 3 options where the therapist way is like, so who do you think you know that might be able to give you some idea? No. So between that and this and web development and SEO things, and I'm actually going to I'm getting there's a 40-hour free course for Google Ads certifications. Because I don't know how many of you I pay a hefty fee to have someone manage my ads. Just to manage the ads, not even to create them, just the management fee, which realistically, once they create the ads, kind of a done deal. And they just charge me that fee every month. And I'm like, well, why should I do that? So between all that, ultimately, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but my plan is I want to create a business where I have agents that are doing the buying and selling. I'm just going to generate the leads. And I'm going to coach from wherever in the world. I can do all these other things. And that place will be Lisbon, Portugal. So my goal is to create a business that I can create businesses I can run from anywhere in the world. And I don't want to pay for Google Ads forever. So that's why SEO is so important. And if you really want some good SEO numbers, Bob has done tons of people's websites, and now he is tracking the traffic that they've been getting since he implemented it. And when I tell you it's huge. And Bob's website, texasparkrealty.com, we beat the Google ad spend every month. Every month. We're getting more organic searches. Now his website's been around for quite a while, but we get more traffic from organic searches because I forget how many. Let's see how many he's done. Site.
I got my cup here. This is important. You don't actually want to eat the snow outside, okay? Let alone I have a dog.
Hi, Valeria. Hello. Hi.
Margaret?
Am I unmuted? I'm so sorry. Hold on. I'm on a Zoom call. I'm so sorry. I'll mute myself.
Let's see. And it's not coming up here. But anyway, let's see. Next. I can't, it's not pulling up right now, but there's a way you search on Google for how many pages have been indexed. For instance, my website has over 3,000 pages indexed. Now, what it doesn't index is the sidebar property sites. It only indexes the content sites. So you see that sidebar with barndominiums and homes under 300,000. Those are literally just pages with properties. And they're quick to create, but it won't index those. It'll index the link, but it won't index anything on those pages because they're just properties. So it'll catch the link, but it won't catch the information on the property, which is fine. As long as it catches the link, it's fine. But building out your site and having as many pages as possible in every possible way, fashion, or form that you can think of is the best way. I think for Bob's site, his number 1 is mother-in-law suites. Their number 1 and number 2 is mother-in-law suites and unique homes. Those are the top two things that people organically search for that he gets traffic off of. But if you ever get a chance to sit down with Bob and look at his analytics for his site, it's really is amazing, so. And if you want to book time with me or Bob, please just let us know. We're happy to share information all the time. In the meantime, I think that's all I got. Unless anybody's got any great questions we can come up with. I'll say that as a no. All right, John, thank you all so much. Have a good one.